Greetings, YouTubers and history buffs. Welcome to another Swag Productions. I'm your host, Brandon Wagner. Now, if you can see behind me here, this is the Carmel Mission. This is from California, founded in 1770 in Monterey County. This painting is from an unknown artist from about 100, 150 years ago, and just a little part of our collection that kind of sets us off in what we're talking about today, which is Catholicism in America. Now, before we get started, please like and subscribe. As you know, YouTube is demonetizing these videos, and we are talking about Christianity and Catholicism today, so that's probably going to be some red flags there. Now, the United States is a country that has had its principles founded in Christianity, but within these foundations, there are a multitude of varying denominations that make up the religious character of the United States. Pick any one of these Christian denominations, and one can write a book on the influences that said denomination had on the United States. Right now, the focus will be on the original Christian denomination that has and continues to have a huge influence on the United States, and that is the Catholic Church. Now, the Catholic Church did not always enjoy the freedom that it now has here in the United States, nor did it have the influence that it has over Americans today. Now, granted, while it did have a large influence over South America, Central America, and even Canada, when it comes to the original 13 colonies, English colonies, Catholicism was very much limited, and many Catholics were even oppressed by their Protestant overlords. Now, the early colonies of Maryland and Pennsylvania were the only colonies that really had any type of toleration for Catholics. Maryland was set up originally as a colony, as a safe haven for Catholics, although later they were to also find some oppression later. In the northern colonies of New England, many New Englanders and Protestants saw Catholics as soldiers and enemies of some kind of distant papal ruler. And this idea of Catholics in general continued up into the mid to late 1800s. Now, by the time of the American Revolution, the total Catholic population was only about 2% of the Christian population in colonial America. But shortly after the Revolution had concluded, the new United States would have its first Catholic bishop. In 1789, the Catholic bishop John Carroll, who also played a role in the American Revolution, as he was part of a delegation along with Ben Franklin, who went to Quebec in Canada and tried to get Canada to join the War of Independence on the side of colonial America. While Carroll did not get the Canadians to join, the fact that the Catholics supported the American Revolution did help to gain more religious toleration for Catholics in the United States. Shortly after John Carroll's appointment as the first bishop in colonial America, we would soon see the rise of Catholicism in the United States. Now, as the United States would start to grow westward, so too would the population of Catholics start to grow within the United States. Accessions such as Louisiana Purchase and also the land gained through the Mexican-American War helped to grow that Catholic population. Most of the land that Mexico had was already dotted with Catholic missions, especially in the Southwest and in California. Around this same time, many more immigrants from Europe would start to come into the United States, especially from Ireland, Germany, and Italy. Many of these immigrants were, of course, of the Catholic faith. This again grew the Catholic population. Now, this increase in the Catholic population was not met without hostility. Especially in the eastern seaboard cities of Philadelphia, Boston, and New York, it was here where many of the nativist movements took root. And that whole argument against Catholic immigration, they were very afraid that they were going to be taking away their jobs. And they also saw the Catholics again as soldiers of a despotic pope that was there to corrupt their Protestant values. This native movement would not last, though, as the Catholic religion would soon start to spring forward and grow rapidly, especially during and after the Civil War. Now, the Catholic population would continue to increase over the years. In 1960, the United States would elect its very first Catholic president with John F. Kennedy. Right today, we have 5 Supreme Court members who are all Catholics. And today, the United States currently has a population of about 22%, which identifies as Catholic. If considering all the Christian denominations as one, then Catholicism today is the largest denomination of Christianity within the United States. Of course, if you are to clump the Protestant religions together, they outnumber Catholics today. But that still is quite an amazing jump as we see from 1776, only 2% of the population being Catholic, whereas today we are not 22% of the United States population who identifies as Catholic. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Any questions, please comment below. Thank you very much.